Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? Good. Welcome to the 2025 Student Leader Candidate Forum. We have some incredible candidates up here today who want to introduce themselves to you and tell you a little bit about their vision for Sac City College and for the Los Rios Community College District. These are elected offices, and so please be aware of the date of the election and make sure that you participate in that. And also keep in mind that historically there are some positions that are not filled during the campaign itself. And so there are likely to be some open positions in the fall for students to get appointed to. So if you look at the folks that are up here and you think, I can do that, then consider being an appointed senator or leader come the fall. Okay, so here's the format of the forum for today. We have students who are running for senator and officer positions here at Sacramento City College. We also have students who are running for the Los Rios trustee position, student trustee position. And so we're going to begin with the non-officer position. So the senator candidates will speak first. Then we'll go with the Sac City College local officer candidates. And then we'll wrap up with the student trustee candidates for Los Rios Community College District. We are competing with some wonderful music in the quad there, so hopefully you'll be able to hear their answers. If there's any question of whether your voice is being able to be heard by those in the audience, maybe just speak a little bit into the microphone. Please don't pick up the microphone or take the microphone with you. When we begin the statements, each student will come up individually. They'll state their name, the office they're running for, and then they're going to answer one or more of the following prompts. The first prompt is, why did you choose to run for this position? The second prompt, if voted in, what will be your goals and priorities during your term? The third prompt, 53% of SCC students are all online. In a virtual environment, how best will you spread awareness and communication with your position? And the final prompt is, what are some issues that affect the student body that need to be addressed? Each student is going to get 5 minutes to answer those prompts in whatever way they choose. At 1 minute left, then Evelyn in the back there will give you the 1 minute warning. At 5 minutes, she'll give you the 5 minute, you're done. Please take your seat, and the next person will come up, state their name, what office they're running for, and they'll have 5 minutes. After everybody has completed their comments, if there's time remaining afterwards, then members of the audience can ask a question of individual candidates or all of the candidates, and they'll have to kind of struggle to see which one is going to answer. So are you guys ready to go? I can't hear you. You guys ready for some candidate introductions and answers to their questions? All right, sounds good. So as I said, all right, that's enough. That's enough. As I said, we're going to begin with the local candidates, with the non-officer candidates, and that's going to begin with Sac City College Senate candidate. Please state your name, what office you're running for. You now have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the organizers for hosting this important event for all Sacramento City College students. I am going to touch on each prompt briefly, so thank you for your time. I'm choosing to run for this position to provide commitment towards the students at the Sacramento City College and to provide an opportunity to represent all clubs and boards, and really to become integrated in everything that happens at Sacramento City College, and to always make sure that important events like Celebrate City are always happening, making sure that clubs are known about, and make sure that students have an opportunity to sign up for these clubs, and just make sure that there is an equal path, a liaison between staff and student body. If voted in, my goals and priorities for this term will be to make sure that, in my experience, the cafeteria to be a little bit more clean, to provide a communication path with the actual staff that works on campus and what the student body can actually do to make sure that our facilities are always up to standard, and to make sure that we're always providing voice for the voiceless. in a virtual environment, how I really found out about all of this was through Instagram. That's a very good communication tool that I like to use, especially when clubs and student leadership board posts on Instagram. So their stories, that's how I really found out about this. So I think it's important to continue that presence in social media and to kind of build upon that. Some of the issues that I feel that affect the student body, I feel like everybody has been doing really good, and what I would do in that position would aid the president, vice president, et cetera, and really make sure that their policies get implemented and everything happens. So thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Now we'll begin with the candidates for the officer positions at Sacramento City College, and we can just kind of work our way down. Are there any officer positions? Okay, so we can just work our way down, and then you can be the final officer position. And again, I just want to remind you that the elections will take place on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week through e-services. And also just a reminder, there are some folks who are watching the candidates forum via Zoom today. So we welcome them to the forum as well. So working our way down, or we can start this way and work that way. Come on up, state your name, the office you're running for, and please answer the prompts. You have 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sean Johal, and I am running for student treasurer at Sacramento City College of the Student Senate. And I just want to introduce myself a little bit. So I am currently seeking office because I feel very inclined to give back to a school that's given so much to me. During my time here at Sacramento City College has been filled with nothing but networking, opportunity, and growth. And so what I really want to do is utilize the skills that I've gained during my time here as a business administration major to prioritize budgeting and funding events that will create the greatest return of value for all of you. I feel like professional development is a staple and a necessity for every community college, and I want to make sure that Sacramento City College is maintaining its reputation as a place of professional development and even improving upon it. This, excuse me. If voted in, my goals and priorities will be to create transparency with the budget. I feel like there's a bit of, what's the word, opaqueness when it comes to how the treasurer tends to run. I feel like a lot of students are left in the dark concerning how the student budget is utilized. And so my goal is to create a newsletter which will basically show the results of almost every single meeting and how the budget is being utilized, as well as what events those that the money is going towards, to ensure that students are seeing actual returns from their investment. Because at the end of the day, as a treasurer, I'm investing with your money. So I want to make sure you know what is happening with your money and how it is being utilized to create the best returns for all of you. So creating a transparent newsletter to ensure that all students know what's happening. And as for the events that I would like to fund and what I would like to really budget for is more professional development. I don't think we can have enough of it. I think we do a great job currently, but obviously we can do better and emphasize that more. And the next question, 53% of SCC students are online. I feel like I definitely hit this question because once again, I want to emphasize that a email newsletter that I hope can go out to every single Sacramento City College student so that they know what's going on in the meetings, how the budget's being utilized. I want to make it as easy as possible for all of you to know how a portion of your tuition is being used to benefit you. So all in all, in a more digital learning environment, I would utilize email, mass email campaigns to ensure that everybody is informed on what is happening in their college and by their treasurer. So some issues that need to be addressed. I wouldn't call this an issue, but definitely something that needs to be emphasized is more professional developing events. Things like teaching kids how to network, how to build a better resume, how to actually achieve these opportunities. We have these currently, but I feel like these events just aren't frequent enough. And I feel like as treasurer, I would utilize our budget to prioritize such events. So basically, I want to emphasize professional development and career growth amongst the Sacramento City College population. All in all, I feel like that all of my statements best encapsulate why I want to run, how in a more digital world I would ensure transparency with how the treasurer and budget's being managed, and finally, what I would like to do with the budget to ensure that all of you get the most amount of value possible out of my work as treasurer. Thank you.
We'll go ahead and continue with the next candidate. State your name and the office. And when the person is finished, when they're clapping, if the next candidate can kind of be ready to come on up. All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Claire Densmore, and I am running for re-election as I currently serve as the Secretary of Public Relations for the Student Associated Council here at Sacramento City College. I am running for re-election because I love this role, and more importantly, I care deeply about the work we do and the students that we represent. Over the past year, I've had the chance to work alongside an incredible team of student leaders advocating for student needs, not just on campus, but across Region 2 at the state level through the Student Senate for California Community Colleges. It's been an incredibly rewarding experience, and I am running again because I want to keep that momentum going. I want to continue building connections, getting more students involved, and making our voices heard. If I'm reelected, one of my main goals is to improve communication and transparency between the Student Associated Council and the student body. A lot of students don't know what we actually do or how hard we work behind the scenes to advocate for your needs. That is something that I want to change. Currently, I'm working on launching a Student Associated Council newsletter that will hopefully be shared digitally and on campus. This newsletter will spotlight what we're working on, upcoming events, key issues we're addressing, and even highlight individual SAC members so that students know who's representing them. My goal with the newsletter is to increase transparency, keep you informed, and make it easier for students, especially online students, to stay involved. And speaking of online students, over 53% of SCC students are fully online, including myself. So engaging with online students is a huge priority for me. I believe that just because someone's not physically on campus doesn't mean they should be disconnected from student leadership or advocacy. I want to make sure our communication is inclusive of all students. Beyond communication, I'm also focused on raising awareness about important resources available to our students, especially mental health support and basic needs services like CalFresh, our campus food pantry, and free counseling. I know how overwhelming college can be, and I believe part of the SIC's role is to make sure every student knows what support exists and how to access it. Lastly, I want to make the SAC feel more approachable and visible. Student government shouldn't feel distant. It should feel like something every student can be a part of, whether it's through digital outreach, our weekly meetings, social media, or even tabling events on campus. I want students to feel empowered to get involved in the work that we are doing. In closing, I'm running for re-election because I care deeply about the success and the well-being of the students at SCC. I'm committed to continuing the work we started, building stronger lines of communication, and making sure no student feels left out in the conversation, online or on campus. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to earn your vote to continue serving as your Secretary of PR. Thank you so much.
And again, because we're competing with the music, just remind every candidate, it might be awkward, but try and lean into the microphone as much as you can.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dennis Lopez. First of all, I want to give a shout out to all the clubs and events that make students feel included and allow them to join a community of people that enjoy the same things that they do. Initially, I chose to run for the position of treasurer of the clubs and events board because I was made aware of certain funding issues from a friend. These problems have since been resolved by the school faculty. I pondered to myself as to whether I should still run for the position, and I think I can truly use this position to benefit myself and others. I can gain mass amounts of experience from this role and discover how much I love or simply tolerate the role. If voted in, my goals for the term will be to give equal and fair amounts of funding. I will not show prejudice towards any clubs or events based on my own opinions and beliefs. I will do my best to allocate funds to those groups who need it the most. I have been told by quite a few people in my life that I am a great listener. I can guarantee that I will listen to representatives for these clubs and dedicate a great portion of my personal time to best solve any funding issues that may arise in the clubs or communities. With 53% of SCC students being online, I feel that the best way to spread awareness and communicate would be to send weekly newsletters to those students online who wish to be involved with student council updates. Additionally, I could also propose an extra Canvas class for those students who wish to be involved in knowing where this funding is going. These students can receive announcements through Canvas on where this funding is going. To be completely honest, I'm not currently aware of any issues that affect the student body. I feel like feedback is needed from the students of all parts of the school. I understand that the club representatives are there to speak for their clubs, but perhaps there may have been some students who would like to voice their opinion anonymously and may be too afraid to join these clubs. Overall, my main goal in this term will be to fund all these clubs equally and no matter who they are. Thank you all for your time.
Change the world is what my father said to me a number of years ago. I was playing on the playground. He said, "My God, son, you will change the world one day." My name is Kuiper Holland, and I'm running for vice president. But enough about me. This is about you. There are 20,000 of you, 20,000 brilliant, curious, hatching, hungry minds. And I know what your minds are thinking. During my tenure as treasurer, I've had the conversations. I know the issues. They've told you to sit down. They've told you to be quiet, and they've told you it couldn't be done. They underestimated you. And where's the support? Where's the helping hand? Counselors? Did you know they are hired on a rule that says 900 students for every one counselor? Let me say that again, 900 students for every one counselor. Does that seem right? And what about campus life? What about the feel, the vibe here on campus? I think we're doing pretty good, honestly. But that's because of this. It's because of you. You've done the work to create the centers, the clubs, the spaces. You've done the work. But the man comes in, gets his paycheck, and leaves. The man has told you no. The man has led you with rod and staff into barren pastures, herded you like animals. And I've had enough. You and I have listened to the man long enough. As vice president, I would be out there in the quad every week, talking to all of you, listening to your gripes and problems. Online too, I'd be out there on the Zooms, watching that chat go, waiting for a camera to turn on, listening to those problems. And I will take those problems in fiery hand and take them all the way to the top and stick it to the man. I will have the honor to lead the meeting of the senators. And it will be my goal to raise the most brilliant crop of young men and women senators that you have ever seen, and fully online senators as well. Together, we will turn the tide. We will build change that is impossible to ignore. So I say down with the man and let the ginger lead.
I think I'm the man.
So, sound check. Testing. Hello, can everybody hear me? All right. How are we feeling today? Good? Yes, sir. All right. Hello, Sacramento City College. My name is Nathaniel Jerick Petueli, and I'm honored to stand before you today. Not just as a candidate for student body president, but as a fellow student who truly believes in the power of people. I'm a first generation college student, and my story begins across the ocean, rooted in my identity as a proud Pacifica, individual of Fijian, Rutuman, and Tongan heritage. But the story I'm here to tell today isn't just mine, it's ours. Because the real strength of this campus lies in the diversity of our voices, our journeys, and our dreams. I've been in leadership since I was 10 years old, not because I had all the answers, but because I've had a heart to serve. From leading back home in Fiji to helping restart and lead clubs like our Pacifica Connections Club, the Dreamers United Club here at SCC, my mission has stayed the same, to create more spaces where every person feels seen, heard, and valued. And I mean everyone. No matter where you come from, who you love, how you identify, what you believe, or what language your family speaks, you belong here. You matter here. And your story deserves to be part of the bigger picture we're building together at Sacramento City College. Leadership is not about titles or microphones. It is about showing up when it matters the most. It's about listening. It's about making sure no one is left behind. If elected, I would be the first Pacifica president of the SCC Student Senate. A historic step forward for our community. But more than making history, I'm here to make an impact. I will dedicate myself to building bridges, not walls. I will advocate for equity, uplift the voices that are often overlooked, and ensure that SCC becomes more than just a place of learning. It becomes a community of belonging. We don't need perfect leaders. We need present leaders. We need purpose-driven leaders. We need leaders who stand with every student and say, you are enough. You have a place here. Let's rise together. So as you head to the polls next week, I ask you to choose someone who leads with heart, listens with empathy, and acts with courage. Let's build something together. Let's make our campus a place where everyone thrives. Vote Nathaniel Petueli for Student Body President with heart, hope, and hustle. Thank you.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so my name is Jesus. I am running for Secretary of Technology. I know a lot about technology. I ran a club. I am a president. I founded the club actually. And another thing is that I also work closely with the superintendent of my school because I'm a current high school student. I'm a dual enrollment student, right? This is my last year though. But anyways, my goals for this year, I am looking to let's see. I am looking to improve the tech or make everything look better, improve upon. My current duties would be of updating the current website. I feel like that one needs an overlook. It needs a rebranding. It needs new design. I feel like it's a bit outdated, right? And another thing is that half of our school is about 50% of online students. And I'm looking to get everyone involved, everyone that is online, everybody to feel connected and everyone to feel that they are involved in some sort of way. Even if you're across the country, across wherever you are taking a break, I hope that everyone can feel involved no matter where they are. Thank you. Vote for Jesus.
Hi guys, is everybody awake? Okay. My name is Amaya Baker and I am running for Secretary of Equity and Diversity. So basically why I chose to run for this position was because I myself I am Mexican and Black. So in high school, I didn't exactly feel welcomed. And so I didn't really have a place in high school, but here in college, I've realized for being here for as long as I have, it feels like it's been a million years now. But basically what it is that my goal for this is just to have more time to actually make a space for everyone like me. We're different. We have like if you're part of like the pride, if you are an immigrant, you just like there's a space to feel safe. That is what is so important here because we want to feel as a family, we want to feel together. So I'm going to be weird and quote Ohana. So nobody gets left behind. So that's basically what it is to be a family here at Sacramento City College. And so basically my goals and priorities also have like a coalition with the problems here. It's not exactly problems, I would say though, because we want to build something that is more for all of us, but hold people accountable as well. Because we want people to acknowledge us in our voices, because we all have voices. And like, I've understood how it feels to be ignored here, and that is just a feeling I wouldn't want anybody to feel. And so basically, I would want more of things just like the Panther Post, because that's giving people voices, that's bringing acknowledgement to other things that are happening here on campus. And then there's also the fact that we just need people to do better. That's just honestly what it is. It's just like hold the people accountable, have change, but then there's also the fact that you need to be able to also make that difference. Don't turn a blind eye like how everybody has for like everything that's happened with the government so far as well. We're getting our rights taken away as people, and that's just the 21st century, I guess. So basically, I'm going to be weird again and quote one of my favorite artists, SZA, progress, not perfection, in all things, grateful to be able to try. So vote for Amaya. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe that is all of the local Sacramento City College candidates. Is that correct? So now we'll go ahead and welcome up the candidates for Los Rios Community College Student Trustee. We can go ahead and, you want to start? We'll begin here, and then we'll go to you, and then we'll work our way back down that way, okay? Let's welcome the candidates for Los Rios Community College Student Trustee.
Hi everyone, I'm Sapita. I'm running for to be your student trustee for next year. I go to American River College. And the reason why I'm running to be the reason why I chose to run is that I've been involved with our clubs and events board at ARC as the president, and I've worked closely with our Senate board and with our committees. I've gone to our ELT, the executive leadership meetings, and I've seen the behind the scenes of the system that we have and where our student voices are left out. So I hope to be your voice to our trustee board and make sure that I'm loud enough so that our student voices are not ignored, that they cannot be ignored. I'm also originally from Afghanistan, and when I moved here, I was like completely lost figuring out the college system. And I know that we have a lot of ESL students here, so I know it can be really, really hard for all of us to figure out that system. So, and so I want to be able to work around those barriers and kind of work toward my goals so we can make those, make the college experience easier. Some of the things I hope to work on is like our broken communication system is what I like to call it. Like at ARC, our DSPS students tutoring was shut down, and our DSPS students were breaking down every week, coming to our Senate meetings, and because there was no clear communication as to where they could go for tutoring. And so I hope to be able to work on that, make sure we get more emails, more student centralized way of communicating so that students get real-time updates about what's happening on campus. And I hope to work really, really closely with our trustee board because I've personally talked to a lot of them and in person throughout this past year, and they're all very interested in what we do. They came to our Undocu Scholar opening event at ARC, and they were very supportive of what we were doing on campus. So I hope to invite them at all of our events on campus to make sure that they see the real impact that their decisions has on the students. And I really hope to build a stronger community for all of our students that way, so that our voices aren't left out. I hope to have each campus organize a statewide, or sorry, district-wide event each semester. This year we did like an honors ball at ARC, and we invited students from all 4 campuses to celebrate all of their achievements. So I hope to do that so that we can increase our engagement throughout the district, and it would be a really good way for our student governments to know what initiatives each school is taking. For example, we brought halal food. We have a halal food committee on our campus, and we're working on bringing more ranges of food for all of our students. So we hope to hopefully inspire our other campuses to also work toward that. And I know we have 53% of Sac City students are online. We also have around 50% at ARC who are online. So I hope to work on social media like Instagram accounts, Discord channels, even Facebook accounts, because I know we have a huge range of students. And so I hope to work on that. We have our school newsletter, and we also have a student school newsletter. So I hope to make sure to advertise more about that, and especially especially communicate with our online student or online professors so that we can reach out to our online students faster. And some issues I hope to work on is translating our resources in different languages, because we have a lot of students from different backgrounds, and make sure that those resources that we have are easier to access. So it's not like a full-time job for you guys to figure out where those resources are. And yeah, and I like to say I don't take no's, so I'll work around those barriers and I'll make sure that those are really easily accessible to you guys, so that we can all get the best out of the resources we have here. And especially help out with our transfer process with assist.org, because I was really lost when I first was trying to figure it out. So I hope that a lot of our other students don't have to go through that. Thank you.
My name is Ethan Bowie. I'm a student senator at Cosumnes River College. I'm also the CRC delegate to the Student Senate for California Community Colleges. I'm a dedicated political activist. I've campaigned for several political campaigns, led several organizations, and I'm running for student trustee to represent you, to serve you, to elevate your voice. Let's face it, our district, Los Rios, has a problem, a big problem. Our 4 campuses, all 4 of them, were built to accommodate 100,000 students across the entire district. And right now, we are struggling to meet 70,000. Think about that. 70,000. We have a 30,000 student deficit in this district. And this is a big deal. This affects the way that our campuses operate. This affects the way that our student governments operate. As some of you may know, all of our funding for activities and clubs and student life comes from the $2 fee, the student representation fee that you pay for. That's right, you fund the events out there with a grand total of 3 attendees, the amazing event that was carefully set up. You fund that. And there is no funding coming from the district for our student life. Right now, across all 4 campuses, our college life is under threat. Our student governments are struggling to fill seats. Our clubs are struggling to get members, all because students don't know what's going on. We're not being informed. As student trustee, I'm here to advocate for dedicated funding for student clubs and student life so that we can have events out there planned and marketed and promoted properly. And as is widely known, many of our students, 53% here at Sac City, are online. And this is a huge number of students who don't know about events like this. We need newsletters. We need videos to showcase what our campus culture is like, because right now we have no campus culture. Our colleges are a ghost town. We do not have the proper resources to market and to fund and to promote because we receive $2 of funding from a dwindling student body. We don't have what it takes to succeed right now. As student trustee, I'll advocate to increase that funding and to enable students to receive timely information on events. We need to educate faculty on what is going on this campus so that that information can be spread to all students in all classrooms and that students can participate in amazing events like the one going on right there with a grand total of 3 participants. We need to do better. Los Rios needs to do better. And our out-of-touch, abstract district government needs to start serving the students. Right now, student government is an abstract term. Many students don't know what student government is. They don't know what the district board does. They don't know what the Senate does. And we need to fix that. Student government should work for students. Student government shouldn't be funded by a $2 fee paid by students for events that have 3 people attending, for student senates that can't even get half of their boards full. Students are trying their best, but the district is not providing. The district is abstract. The district does not represent you. It does not represent us. And we need to fix that. For the sake of our students, for the sake of California community colleges, we are facing an enrollment crisis because we have no campus life. We have no structure. We have nothing. We are ghost towns. As student trustee, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to work for you. I'm going to bring events back to campus that have real attendees and real events that have true purposes. Networking, useful events, not just in some obscure career center halfway across campus with 3 attendees, but right here in the quad, marketed to everyone, promoted throughout all the classrooms in all the buildings. Faculty need to be involved. The district needs to be involved. The district cannot get away with being the district. We need to hold the district accountable. I'm running for student trustee because I believe in the power of the student voice. We can do this together, but I can't do this alone. I need you to get out there and vote. My name is Ethan Bowie. I'm running to elevate your voice. Let's make this happen.
Hi everyone, my name's Lizzie. Lizzie like Queen Elizabeth. Remember that name so you know who to vote for. I'm running because I know how it feels to be overwhelmed, not be able, you don't know where to get help, whether it's with mental health, finances, or just adjusting to the college life academically or socially. My goal is to push for better support systems, more inclusive spaces, real communication between students and leadership. I don't just want to represent, I want to connect with my peers and make change that would really help a lot of students. So a little bit about my experience. I want to run for student trustee position because I feel I have the ability to be a great student trustee. I am very passionate about helping others, and I'm really great with executing events. I want to implement a lot of fun events where we could like gather different campuses, meet everyone from ARC, SCC, all the campuses. I have coordinated summer programs back in the Philippines where we traveled to tribal areas. We gave access to free healthcare for them, so I know how to work with diverse groups of people. So I have also held multiple leadership roles like math club president, English club treasurer, and currently I am the officer of communications for women in STEM. I'm also the treasurer and representative for Energy Innovation Club. So these roles, they have taught me how to lead, take initiative, and listen, and even understand how board meetings would usually work. I have also currently I'm also tutoring low income kids, or I also volunteer in nursing homes. So I've learned to empathize, mentor, and listen. I believe these experiences have prepared me to become a great leader and represent students well because I understand the different kind of struggles that everyone may go through. And I want to make sure that everyone's voices are heard. So enough about my background. There are a couple of things that I'd also like to address. These are just some, but while I was gathering 70 signatures from students, I had to have real conversation with them and they opened up about the things that they wanted to implement in the school. So they said that we need more access for student support, like those who struggle with schoolwork. They need safe spaces to practice culture and religion, and financial aid for those that did not qualify as low income, but they also did not receive help from their families. So I think that problem is often overlooked, and I just really want to address that. I also want to advocate for mental health. I believe that everyone's struggles are important and it should be heard. I also have this crazy idea that maybe we could have like golf carts, like make transportation for students easier because, who wants to walk like 10 minutes? But it could also be great for students with disability, those visually impaired or have trouble to walk around. We could prioritize that for them. And I also want to make the campus make the campus life like more accessible. We could have tour guides for students that could do tour guides. It could offer more employments for students, but it could also help out those students that are visually impaired. I just want to make this campus really accessible for everyone, not just to us, but those who that are online and disabled. And that's it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brianna Pham, and I'm running to be your next student trustee. So when I first started community college, I joined the club and events board, and that was really my first step into student life. It truly opened my eyes to representation, the power of representation and what it truly means. I saw that student voices could make an impact, but I also saw how easy student voices could be lost within the process. And I remember asking my advisor, what can I do to contribute more? Because I knew that I was making a difference, but I wasn't necessarily satisfied with the impact that I was having. And over these past few months, I've seen how decisions are made on a higher level, and more importantly, how these decisions affect real people. So students like you and me who are navigating classes, jobs, family responsibilities, and everything in between. I've seen the struggles, the resilience, and the power that the student body holds, but I think too often we're left out of the conversations that shape our experience. And that's especially important in the virtual environment. So as mentioned, over 53% of Sac City students are online, and if we extend this to the district, a huge percentage of students among all among all the colleges are also students online. And that number isn't going to go down anytime soon. So we can't rely on bulletin boards or word of mouth conversations anymore. I think that creating virtual platforms where students can give feedback, ask questions, address concerns, whether they're on campus or not, is incredibly important. Something like creating online forums or digital platforms where we can send out regular updates and partner with instructors to make sure that all students are kept in the loop, because I think representation doesn't just mean speaking for people, but it means connecting with people wherever they are. And the student issues that I find important are the ones that often go unseen. So things like housing insecurity, the need for mental health support, and things like affordable textbooks. I think those aren't just nice to have things, but they're basic needs that directly affect our success. And when I served for office hours, when I was on the CABE, when I served the position of on the CABE role, I noticed that students were coming in not just for academic help, but also for real support. Um, Students like veterans navigating mental health challenges, or students looking for stability and belonging. Other students who were coming in and simply just searching, they felt like they were moving through college without a safety net. And I think we need to make sure that every student, not just the loudest or most visible, are being heard and get what they need to thrive. And at the end of the day, I believe that leadership isn't about having all the answers, but it's about being curious, being there to listen, even between the lines, and most of all, building something bigger than yourself. And I may not have started community college knowing exactly what I wanted to do, but I do know that I want to serve the community and I want to be there in a way that brings all of us in. Thank you.
All right, let's give all of the candidates a big round of applause. I also want to recognize all of the students who are in the audience. This is a great turnout, so let's give yourselves a round of applause. We do have about 7 minutes before we escape to the table for pizzas for some questions of the candidates. So rather than a question that is for every single candidate, how about if you do have a question, if you can focus it on one particular candidate and then a quick answer, and then we can continue with some of the other questions. Does anybody in the audience have a question? Yes. All right, thank you for that question. Are there any other questions for the candidates? Yes. Sure, come on over to the microphone.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, so my name is Ethan Bowie. Yeah, what was your? Right. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I appreciate you mentioning, the deficit that we have. It's a big issue. And, the best way to solve that really is to lean on the power of social media. We live in the 21st century. The last student trustee who had an Instagram account was from at least 2 years ago. And without much reach, we need to do better. Our district needs to do better. We need to stop putting out clickbait posts and put out real posts that market to students. That's who we should be marketing to. 53% of students right here at Sac City are online. We have to market to that demographic. A lot of these online students don't know about events like this or events like the one that just happened right out there. We need to do better with reaching out to those kinds of students. In terms of the 30,000 deficit, the plan is to create as big of a campus culture as possible. A lot of the times, people avoid community college because it's stigmatized for being a place where your social life essentially goes to die. We can see that with, again, the amount of people who were at that event right out there. The music's very loud. It was set up extremely well. There was a lot of preparation and hard work that went into that event for an extremely low turnout. And Los Rios students, we deserve better than this. We deserve better than to have events with 3 people and to have a dead campus for the entire remainder of the year. Again, we need to start holding our administration, and I say abstract because, let's be honest, when was the last time you heard from anyone on the district board? They don't work for you. They're politicians who line their own pockets. If you look at their budget, they don't work for you. They aren't funding what matters most. They aren't funding the student life that ought to be funded. And so we need to bring that funding back here instead of relying on you to pay the $2 fee to fund your own dead campus life. So we need to bring that back here. We need to make sure that community college is destigmatized one school at a time, and we need to make sure that we have an active social media reach. And like I mentioned earlier, the newsletters that they send out, nobody reads. We need to create video formats of that and have faculty cooperation to ensure that every single student who attends class on Zoom, on campus, they know what's going on. We have to have faculty in on that, and faculty aren't being educated properly on how to do that. So we need to start holding the district board accountable. Thank you.
I think we can squeeze in one more quick question with a quick answer. I see a hand up over here. What is your question? So you have about 30 seconds.
At SSCCC, the statewide organization, we take $1 of those $2, so actually only $1 goes to campus activities. $6 is the proposed rate to increase it to. We don't want that to happen. We're going to force the district to take money out of the surplus, the huge surplus that we have. If you look at the budget online, we're going to force them to take that, cut back on these events that don't have good marketing, and put that into improving student government, clubs, and making sure that the foundation is strong before we invest in these other events and market them.
Maybe one other quick question for one of the other candidates for a quick answer. A question from the audience? See no questions from the audience? Okay, I see a question over there. Go ahead. Every question is an important question. Do we have any questions for any of the other candidates by any chance? There are other trustees who are running as well? I don't think it's quite appropriate for a candidate to be asking other candidates a question. Are there any questions from the audience? You can. If that's fair for all the other candidates who haven't been able to answer a question. Okay, you have about 15 seconds. And what is your question?
So if you look into the budget, a lot of our campus life, a lot of the marketing that's done for these events is funded through the $2 fee. a lot of the money that they put into these events with low attendance needs to start going back to the clubs. I'm sorry if I misled anyone or, misunderstanding there. This money needs to go back to a place that can invest it wisely. That was the intent of what I meant to say. Our $2 student fee isn't working, and we need to pull money from places that don't invest it wisely and put it back to where it ought to be.
All right, I have a question for all of you. How many of you are ready for some pizza? All right. So again, let's give a big round of applause for all of the candidates. If you'd like to ask them some questions during the food part of the event, please, we encourage you to continue to ask them questions, even though it's not a part of the formal format. And hopefully they'll be able to get your answers to your questions. The election, again, is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week through e-services. And thank you very, very much for attending today. Enjoy the pizza.
Hey everybody, hi, I'm Mayana. I work on campus for a new program. It's called City Scholars, but in short, I'm gonna leave a flyer up here and around the room because we want to gather feedback from students for they're creating a new curriculum for Black and Brown students because they graduate at low rates. They come in here at 60% and then they'll graduate with 2% transferring. So we're creating a new curriculum. We want y'all's help and the initiative of y'all's voices. So please attend the meeting that's April 28th in this very room. No, sorry, it's LRC.